Oh yes, trolling Trump's Tylenol train wreck, RFK Jr. over Halloween. It's just good old-fashioned American fun, isn't it, right here at Occupy Democrats in this breaking story? Because, yes, you can love thy neighbor, but you sure as hell don't have to like their politics. I'm going to show that story to you in just a few seconds because, ooh, did someone get their just desserts? And as you might feel, RFK Jr. really deserves it. We'll show the story in a few seconds. Take a listen to this.
Caroline Kennedy has just released a scathing warning about her cousin, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., urging senators to reject his nomination to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Watch this.
I've known Bobby my whole life. It's no surprise that he keeps birds of prey as pets, because Bobby himself is a predator.
Oh yeah, Trump loves to talk about how he has the best people and how he picks them based on stuff like this.
Well, he's a different kind of a guy. He's got a lot of good ideas. You know, normally they don't have any ideas, and that's why we have problems with autism and so many other things.
I watch his younger brothers and cousins follow him down the path of drug addiction. His basement, his garage, his dorm room were always the center of the action.
Yes, family knows best, but it doesn't stop there.
Overnight, after a tense grilling of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on Capitol Hill.
Do you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?
I don't know how many died.
Do you think the vaccine did anything to prevent additional deaths?
Again, I would like to see the data.
And he enjoyed showing off how he put baby chickens and mice in a blender to feed to his hawks.
It's not your standard talk, I would say, and that has to do with medical and vaccines. And look at this country also with regard to health. I like the fact that he's different.
Just because he's different doesn't make him smart, Donnie. This.
There's 2 studies that show children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism. And it's highly likely because they're given Tylenol.
Hell, Trump can't even pronounce acetaminophen.
The FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay?
There's a tremendous amount of proof or evidence, I would say.
It is very clear that there is not a strong evidence base that links circumcision to autism.
And RFK just can't talk fast enough or with enough tongues to try and get around this.
With Tylenol, we've all said from the beginning, the causative association between Tylenol given in pregnancy and the perinatal periods is...
And when it's all said and done, he doesn't have any answers.
Is not sufficient to say it definitely caused autism.
Oh, he gets grilled.
And talk about the data.
You have had this job for 8 months, and you don't know the data about whether the vaccine saved lives?
That's the problem.
So you sure can't blame the senator for doing this.
How can you be that ignorant?
So in this breaking story, what did one of RFK Jr.'s neighbors do in the vein of, yeah, vaccines? You might want to rethink that. Check out this trolling RFK Jr. story from the ghouls and goblins who live right next door to him.
RFK Jr.'s neighbors troll him with message on front lawn. The health secretary's neighbors are expressing their views through Halloween decorations. MAGA Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s neighbor decided to send him a pointed message this Halloween. On the front lawn, RFK Jr.'s neighbor Christine Payne displayed a skeleton sitting in a chair with a sign that reads, "Wish I had taken my vaccine." Since taking office as Secretary of Health and Human Services, Kennedy has overhauled U.S. vaccine policy, tightening eligibility for COVID-19 shots, cutting $500 million in funding for mRNA vaccine development, and launching an investigation into the long-debunked claim linking vaccines to autism. My son has autism, and a neighbor is very active in anti-vaccine efforts, Payne told WTOP News about her targeted Halloween display next to her neighbor, RFK Jr. In September, Kennedy, 71, joined President Donald Trump, 79, at a press conference where they claimed without sufficient evidence that the pain reliever Tylenol is linked to autism when taken by pregnant women. There is a small bottle of Tylenol also next to his feet because we're very concerned about it affecting children, Payne said about the skeleton displayed in front of her house. Kennedy has referred to pregnant women who take Tylenol, despite the president's recommendation not to, as suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. He has also claimed that children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism, and it's highly likely because they're given Tylenol. Yet a month later, after many pointed out that the link between the drug and autism is not definitive, the health secretary appeared less confident about the causative association between Tylenol and autism, telling reporters that the evidence is not sufficient to say it definitely causes autism. A KFF poll on Health Information and Trust found that 77% of the public had heard Kennedy's claims about Tylenol, but only 4% believed they were definitely true, while 35% said they were absolutely false. We have people taking photos of it constantly, Payne said about her Halloween setup, adding that Kennedy has not personally commented on the skeleton. The Daily Beast has reached out to Kennedy's representatives for comment. Another of Kennedy's neighbors put up a headstone reading, "I did my own research," referencing Kennedy's attempts to conduct his own vaccine research despite previous studies, failing to show any link between vaccines and autism. Following the first measles-related death of a 6-year-old in 20 years, anti-vaccine figures at Children's Health Defense, a nonprofit founded by Kennedy, twisted the tragedy into messaging aimed at discouraging the public from receiving the measles, mumps, and rubella MMR vaccine. As of October 28, 2025, the United States had reported a total of 1,648 confirmed measles cases, marking the highest number since the disease was declared eliminated in 2000. Kennedy's neighbors are not the only ones mocking the secretary this Halloween. California Governor Gavin Newsom also took a jab, sharing a costume idea for RFK Jr. that included a measles party invite. Despite disagreeing with Kennedy's politics, his neighbor said Health Secretary is one of the nicer neighbors that we've dealt with through the years, very agreeable, but love thy neighbor, not agree with his politics, Payne added.
Just isn't a whole lot else to say except for the fact that, you can do your own research, but there are an awful lot of people who've done an awful lot of it. And RFK Jr., you're just having to keep on walking back some of the BS and close to all of the BS you have been pushing on the American public for the last 10 months, with Donald Trump right behind you, supporting you, shockingly, in your idiocy. You guys like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay frosty.